Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Hiko Simon asked me to comment on my take with the big news out of Korea, which is, of course, the headline making its way around the world. Korea authorizes adultery. Okay, so that is a great headline. It is capturing people's imagination. Here in Korea, it's being billed as the Constitutional Court striking down the anti-adultery law. And again, it's a great headline. But people are truly focusing on the headline and not the meat, not the substance of the matter. So this is what you have to keep in mind. This is the 5th time this law has been brought to the Constitutional Court. The previous 4 times the law has been reviewed, it has been held as constitutional. This is a major reversal. So that in of itself is newsworthy. It is. You have a law being found unconstitutional after its 5th review. Wow, huge news. But you have to take everything into perspective. The 7-2 majority ruled that this law was unconstitutional. This repealing of the law would be akin to a state like, say, Texas, ruling that sodomy was unconstitutional, or that sodomy needs to be taken off the books. That's what's happening here. You have a law that essentially no one enforces, and they're taking it off the books. That is exactly what's happening. It's no different than taking sodomy off the books. According to data, only 0.4% of cases that are brought forward are actually prosecuted. That's right, less than 0.5%. So you can see that this is a largely unenforced law. No one really cares. It's off the books. One of the reasons that the justices cited that the law was being decriminalized was because a lot of people were using this to extort money from other people. You see, the only punishment in this law, there was no fines attached to it. If you were convicted, you had a sentence of 2 years imposed upon you. So people would go out, find information about people who were committing adultery, blackmail them, and if they didn't, they would release the information, and then they could be sentenced for up to 2 years in jail. Some very high-profile cases were actually listed with this. So another reason why this law was found unconstitutional. It's also important to keep in mind that there are still civil penalties available to plaintiffs. This only decriminalizes the law. It doesn't take away the fact that if your spouse is committing adultery, you can go after them for civil penalties, because in Korea, divorce is a fault-based system, and adultery is one cause for grounds for divorce. So you can go after civil penalties. So there you have it. Personally, I think it's a great move. I think a lot of people are jumping on the headline bandwagon. And it is news. I mean, you have this 5th attempt to repeal the law, and it finally goes through. But in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really change anything. It just removes the threat of jail time, removes, to some degree, the threat of extortion. But in practice, nothing's going to change.